two, one. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another rousing episode of the Social Time Podcast. I'm Nathan, otherwise known as Nashka, and
I'm
today
Sam, and my RC car
I
exploded.
wasn't even done,
No,
bro.
shut up, Nick.
I wasn't even done.
No, yes you are.
Well, hey, that's Sam. He's back. And the usual cast is here. Cody, please introduce yourself for those who have not seen you before.
My name is Code Black, otherwise known as the 2019 Jeep Laredo.
Good making model. And guns.
Just young guns or guns, and that's basically it. I will be gone for the entire hour, yeah.
Excuse me?
That's usually what happens.
Is it because your family is liberating your little sister? Because she's being a little
No, first of all, there is no little sister. It's a fetus, and it's dead. And second of all, literally, y'all talk the entire time, so I'm like, okay,
Right,
let's
okay,
go.
Hold up. First things first. Hold up. I'm about to get. All right. So first topic. Ready? Rant.
Can we restart this?
Bruh, I sit there
Wait,
and ask
what?
you all the
Wait.
time, guns, and I'm like, bruh, why don't you just talk? Like, I'm like, listen, do you have any opinions? And you go, no, and that's it.
What did I tell you, Guns? I said if you don't add content, you're gonna be kicked off the podcast.
Shut up, Sam.
Everyone go a veto list right now on guns.
I vote yes.
Yeah, well, welcome everybody. Happy to be here talking with another few subjects, which today is not near as planned. And people just have certain things they want to rant about.
Nathan got lazy.
Yeah, well, no, I was gonna plan stuff, but I was just gonna say.
Well, you said yeah, so.
Well, yes and no. I have other things, but they're for later episodes. So today is an anything episode, is what I'm calling it. And first things first, Sam. Okay, you have a topic that just happened recently that I want you to go.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Here
alright,
we go.
guys. So let me give you the shakedown. Let's get jiggy with it. All right. Listen. So I bought an RC car about at the 1st of September. Okay. You know, it was pretty decently expensive RC car. It was $200 something. All right. You know, people were like, "Oh my god, you're fucking crazy for getting an RC car that expensive." I don't care. Whatever. You can shove it. All right. It came in today, dude. I was so excited, man. I got up, I put it all together. I drove out to Dollar General, got some batteries, came back. All right. I switched this motherfucker on, and the only thing I hear is, oh, I cut out like that. A fucking high pitched squeal, and I look at it, dude. The amount of smoke that started coming out of this thing, all right, it is ridiculous. So
If you will.
I grab it, and I'm like, dude, this thing is gonna explode my hand, you know. So I'm running outside. I chuck it outside, dude. And I don't know if any of y'all know, but the smell of burnt plastic is a toxic fume.
I just had
In my little office, dude, like, I'm gonna die.
Bro, I just had the image of you running out there like, oh shit, and you throw the the RC
Dude,
car in the grass, and it just like engulfs your entire front yard in flames, just because you have all those leaves all over your house at all times.
But the thing is, like, there's a model that is exactly like that, but it's a nitro model, which means it takes gas. I feel bad for any fucker who got that shit.
You get that version, you burn your entire neighborhood down.
No, but my smoke alarm went off and everything. So I looked at the cooling fan, dude. There was a hole the size of a fucking golf ball in it.
Wait, what?
Nathan, I'm just gonna put it in the Snapchat. But dude, it was crazy. And dude, the smell. Oh my god, the smell.
I can't tell if you really hate it or you like it, and the way you're saying
I
it is not
hated
being
it.
very clear. Okay,
It was so bad,
Yeah,
dude.
the smell of burnt plastic smells like if you just walked in on the fucking Michelin Man just jerking one as fast as humanly
burnt
possible,
rubber. Oh my god.
and he just
There's a whole
stares
new
at
meaning
you,
to that saying.
just like cranking one out. Like,
Need some new tires.
Smell it burn? Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. That, I'm telling you right now, burnt plastic, burnt hair, and burnt rubber all smell like garbage. Just
Now go ahead
straight
and take
bad.
a look at those pictures.
Oh, hold on. Hold on, everybody. Something you're not going to be able to see.
Make this the cover photo for the Discord or the not the Discord but
Discord.
the episode.
Too bad you can't. I'm gonna save them.
Oh, and we didn't add the third video to the podcast. Why?
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about
Oh
that.
yeah.
Oh, he's
One more,
talking about in the
one
Discord.
more strike on
Yeah,
your
yeah.
gun.
Shut up.
Keep it
There's
up.
There's not even anyone in here, so you shut up, Sam. How about you do it?
Dude, this
Huh?
what do you think, Nathan?
About that whole thing? I mean, it looks like you formed. It looks like a new creature was coming out of the side of your RC car, like it was birthing something.
Yeah.
Sam, you send that to me. I can send it to Nathan. Nathan can put it up in the podcast if he feels like doing it. Like
I sent
while
it
we're
to him on
talking about it.
Snapchat. What are you talking about, you monkey?
I already got them downloaded.
I'm
to
saying
my
I could
camera roll. I'm gonna-
screenshot it, send it on
I'll
Discord,
try to,
and
if I can do it, yeah, if I can do it, I'll put it in the, I have them downloaded, I'll try to put it in the Discord and get them up on the stream so you guys can actually see it, not stream, but episode. Also, I didn't mention, background change.
Sure.
We had a background change of the podcast. It's no longer just a cafe, which it might return if people want it, but we have an animated one now of, a good old, bungalow.
Cafe.
I don't know what this is exactly. I'm gonna call it the bungalow, but it's the boys' bungalow.
Sure,
That's
that
what we're
cafe.
hanging out.
Cafe.
Dude, this fucking smoke is killing me.
Sam, there's no way your house
No,
is like
dude,
a forest fire right
Nate,
now.
come over here and smell my house.
Well, all right, give me 45. I'll be over there in a second.
Like, damn, dude, I need to light my incest
Just
burners.
open the window and burn a candle.
My window
Your
is
incest
open.
burners?
Glad
Yeah,
one
I
of you
was
caught
about to say the same thing.
Incense?
Okay, yeah. Okay,
You
so
don't light your incest burner. I want to join.
should I do? I think that's vanilla, cinnamon,
I'd say modded, but
coffee, or whatever this one
Do
is. What
booty
is this?
stank. That's a good one.
Cinnamon. Should I do
yeah,
cinnamon?
spray liquid ass in your room.
With the smoke. Make it smell a little better than burnt plastic.
Dude, just the fact that someone was like, you know what, I'm gonna make liquid ass spray is just
Okay,
terrible.
I need to look up what the man looks like who invented liquid butt. Hold
Cody, I hope
I
you know.
guarantee you, watch it be like Warren Buffett on like a side project. He's like, liquid ass.
on.
It's actually Bill Gates.
Made by Alan Whitman is the dude.
Ooh.
And the dude's name's
Dude.
Alan Whitman. Let me look this dude up because I have
Anybody named Alan? Oof.
Yeah, he probably shits into every one of the bottles
Oh,
he sells.
you need to look at this dude's face. Oh my God! I hope this
Hold on,
this
look
might
up.
be him. But we're about to see. Hold on.
It's Alan Whitman?
You send
Alan
it in
Whitman.
Discord.
Yeah. Hold on. Where should I post it?
Just do half RC CPU burn and half Alan Whitman.
No, here you go. That's him. That's the dude who invented liquid ass. Look at that.
Oh, is this a YouTube video?
Are you looking up a video on what it looks like?
I'm looking up a video of the guy.
Why is under the Alan Whitman like images section? There's just a section that says man sentenced to year in jail for attempted strangulation. I'm gonna go ahead and get off this page.
He probably
I'll just put it there so it doesn't stay in updates.
Well, I want to post it later. I might use that in the podcast too.
I can't tell
interesting.
which one.
I mean, I put it in general, so if you need it.
Apparently, there's a guy, Alan Whitman, that's the CEO of Audient Aerospace. I don't think that's the same guy. That
I don't
made
think he's the dude who
liquid
invented liquid
ass.
ass. If it is, that's an amazing crossover.
He's like, oh, I invented space flight and ass spray.
I'd say his ass spray is definitely his crowning achievement.
I do too. Who needs
Definitely
space
it's
travel?
affected more people so far.
Yeah, instead of never mind.
Yeah?
What's Elon's last name?
Musk.
Yeah. Fart Musk.
Dude, I
That
don't
was
see the.
that was a poo-poo joke. Get it? Huh? Huh? Pun? Pun?
You
Pun?
post a picture of that guy?
No, I posted it in updates. But anyways, yeah. So,
I put it in general, so it doesn't have to
so
be there.
Sam, almost had his house burned down because of an
Dude,
RC
they better
fire. That was
they better lick my feet clean for this.
That's kinky.
No,
No.
really, I'm serious. Like, cause this, like, I'm genuinely pissed off about this. because one of the few reasons I bought this is so my nieces and nephews can play with it as well as me.
Well, they can still play with it. You just turn it on. They get their own like fireworks display going on.
I was about to say, aren't they like 2 and 3? I don't think they're gonna.
No, they're 7, 4, and 2.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna need to be able to mount it to a.
Trust me, they're smarter than they look.
Crafty little devils.
Hmm.
I mean, as long as they're not Isaac smart.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry.
They would just rebuild your broken RC car into like the ray gun from Zombies, and then it'd be round 30 all over again.
You're or random joins, and you have to go up to the thing and make the crafting noise whenever you go and hold the button down to build the shield.
I mean,
We
kids
all been
already.
there. We all know.
A lot of kids already make half the zombie noises from the.
Maybe I should just
Thanks,
go talk.
Maybe. But yeah, so that was Sam's story of his carnage. Yeah. I haven't. Let me think. The last time I bought an RC thing, it was probably at Toys R Us when that was still in business, back when I was like 8 years old. The problem with RC things over the years though is they always just kind of suck. Not like the really expensive ones, but the cheaper ones that just don't. They last for about 20 minutes and they instantly break in midair. So it doesn't help anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the cool thing about getting older is you can actually buy this thing that's an adult RC car that actually takes you different places.
Uh huh.
But you have to be 16 and older to, you know, get one.
Right. And you're talking about
Um,
the same. We're talking about the same vehicle that your tire almost completely came off while driving back down to college.
um,
Hey, what did you
listen,
you called me earlier and you said yeah, it's still making
listen.
noises, but you don't sound like you're upset
Just
about it.
just 'cause I died first time to Deacons of the Deep does not mean you can make fun of me, bro.
I don't know. That is something you could poke fun at somebody for dying at Deacons. I just don't understand how you sit there and go, yeah, my car's making weird noises, but it's alright.
I mean, yeah.
What is that even about?
Listen, if I gave a little shit and poodle about every little thing going on, like minor inconveniences,
I don't think driving your car down the road and it making sputtering sounds is a minor inconvenience. That might turn into a major inconvenience, as far as a telephone pole slamming through your windshield and decapitating you.
It was
a
a
telephone
2x4.
pole.
It was a fence post.
Oh,
Let's talk about another concerning matter regarding this chat. Why does Guns have a different Discord picture every single time?
answering questions.
Shut up and leave me alone. I don't care.
Answering questions that need to be answered.
Answer these questions.
Hey,
I
life is
want it to
about-
be
life is
this,
a-
so live with it.
Life is about change. We changed the background. Guns changed his profile picture. We have yet to change our profile pictures. I've yet to find one that I like.
Cody, change the Discord.
Discord?
What?
The Discord.
Huh?
Gotta pull an Isaac move and tell Cody to change the lads Discord.
Oh yes, new humor.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cody. In fact,
Inside
while
humor,
we're on
no
the
one will
topic,
know.
Cody needs to get a list and start writing down new jokes so he can tell them and have it taped on his monitor whenever he needs them.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
because
gonna
if
get-
nobody knows, Cody is on the script.
The
Yeah,
entire
that is
actually,
true.
Yeah, you
And
wrote
I'm
the pencil.
scary.
He's on a script, but he's on his own script.
Like he.
I'm ac-
Go ahead.
I'm actually the script that I'm always handed throughout the week is actually just scenes and my dialogue from the fucking what are those movies? The Exorcist movies. I get a new different Exorcist movie.
I thought you said it was the
every
Evil
week.
Dead. So in that scene where the girl's in the basement and he opened up the basement door and she just
You
crawls
mean like a guy
upstairs.
Pretty Boy?
Yeah. Can we
Bruh,
get a demonstration of what that is?
There are so many of those I think it's Exorcist movies. Like there's so many like rip-offs, and I mean I guess that's every like
Doesn't the first
horror movie.
Doesn't the first
but-
Exorcist movie wasn't it like 1980 something?
Oh, it's an old one, but it's still revered as possibly like the best one. I think it was just because of the shock factor mainly, but there are so many really shitty like Exorcist movies. Like I think I watched one time, where it was this redheaded chick, right? And I don't remember the name of it. It was really ass. I got it out of a red box, which for anyone who doesn't or does know what a red box is, it's basically like a kiosk outside of like fucking Walgreens and some gas stations. And you can rent movies for like $1. It's probably like $2 now because of inflation. But
Yeah, these
yeah,
things are old.
I used to get horror movies out of it a lot of the time, and this one time, like I said, the redheaded chick, and she was like in a mental ward, and then all of a sudden, like, she's like, "It's too much to handle," and then she started like showing signs of like extra, like being a demon or something. And the end of the movie, she like stands in front of the nun of the thing and just goes, and then the snaps her fingers, and the nun just sets on fire and is like,
Dang,
like
that means she must have
running
done
around.
that to Sam's RC car.
Yeah,
Snapped her fingers.
That
and
was
made
the
that
sound of the
burst.
RC car.
Yeah, when it started burning to death.
All right, listen, guys.
No, that's like. By the way, everyone who's sitting there being like, "Wow, I don't like." You buy DVDs and you buy them out of a kiosk and then go there because now we have streaming services that basically put Redbox out of business.
The millennials feel like.
Yeah,
I
so
remember.
we
I
had the
remember one.
DVDs.
Oh,
I was just gonna say we had the DVDs and now we just binge everything on Netflix, which there's still a lot of crappy Netflix horror movies.
oh yeah.
I remember one scary movie that I watched. Dude, it was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was like, well, it wasn't. Well, yeah, it was stupid and it was super weird. It's called Splice. It's about these like DNA
Oh,
I think I
geneticists.
yeah.
remember,
Dude. So pretty much the female doctor, like spoilers, if you guys want to watch the movie, stop listening to the chat or the podcast right now. But
I'll tell you
pretty
what,
much
mute the audio and then we'll all talk at the same time.
so pretty much how it works is literally like the female doctor like uses her own DNA to make a humanoid creature. And eventually it leads to the male doctor having sex with it after raising it
Okay,
like
bro.
a child. Dude, yeah. And then it switches over to being from female to male, and then it rapes the female doctor.
What?
Dude,
dude.
it is a
What kind
weird
of
movie.
flaws for a
That
horror movie is that?
dude,
It
that
wasn't even
reminds
scary, it was just stupid. Sorry for interrupting you, Cody.
that reminds me of this one movie. I had to watch. It's not necessarily a horror movie, but it was a movie out of Redbox that I had never seen any like advertising for, and it was a movie called Predestination. I think that's what it was called, and it had that same sort of concept. Okay, so it starts out, and I'm not going to go over the whole movie. No one's ever, I would say spoilers, but no one has ever watched or is going to watch this fucking movie. So, but it starts out. So this woman gets a letter, right?
Uh-huh.
And or no, sorry. It starts out as this man gets a letter, and he's like, oh, and it's talking about like them in the future,
Mhm.
but it's a letter from the past or something. I don't know. So the guy he gets this letter from out of nowhere, and then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna find the source of this letter. I need to know. I want to find out." So he goes on this like journey to try and find out. Well, he ends up like kind of like the Nightmare or not Nightmare Before Christmas, the Christmas Story with Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh yeah.
He gets like knocked into where he can see like what happened to himself in the like future or past or some shit or a different timeline. And basically what had happened was he was born a female and he lives his life. Well then he gets pregnant, right? And in the
What?
middle of like trying to deliver his baby, the doctor's like, "Bro, you have a penis, so
It's gonna hurt.
well, he didn't or she didn't know it, but they were like, "Yeah, you have a penis, and this baby's it's either gonna like never come out or something." And I don't remember if she delivered the baby or what, but they ended up doing surgery to like make it a man.
What the heck?
What
And
was that?
I don't
Sorry.
know.
I had to blow into my mic too.
dude,
Sorry.
and it's just I watched the end of the movie and I'm like, what in the fuck happened? Because she meets the man version from like the alternate timeline, and they both meet. So
See, Cody, when I hear that, I'd be like, tell me that like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago, I'd be like, man, that's fucking crazy. Tell it to me now, I'm like, dude, that's America.
I just know that's gonna happen now.
No,
hold on, I'm
like,
gonna.
oh, here we go. We're about to see the trailer for it.
No. Yeah, Predestination. It was rated R and it came out 2014. So I'll give you what it says on the
Going off the
description.
small details you gave us, that movie sounds
I
like
don't.
dog
Yeah,
shit.
I don't
Dog
want
shit.
to. I don't want to watch it.
A temporal agent, Ethan Hawke. So it's got a well-known actor in it, Ethan Hawke, embarks on a final
I don't know who
time-traveling
that is.
assignment to prevent an elusive criminal from launching an attack that kills thousands of people.
Are you sure we're talking about the same movie?
It's
Um,
like I. That's what I'm
that
saying.
doesn't
I don't-
sound like what you were talking about.
No, but that's literally what it is. Like, I don't even remember them like there being a threat in this movie. Oh no, because it was okay. I think he ended up being the threat. Like at the end of the movie, so he meets the girl version of himself before she goes through like being pregnant and all that, and then he ends up being the threat, but from like a different timeline. So not only does he meet the uh, like the woman version of himself, but he meets himself from a different timeline that kills all these people. Dude, it is by far out of all the movies I think I've ever watched, it is the weirdest movie.
even weirder than the Evil Bong.
It sounds like I don't know. Evil Bong was up there as one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
Like YouTube videos have a higher budget than the Evil Bong movie.
I'm trying to look and see.
Thought it was good.
You've definitely seen an Ethan
I don't
Hawke
think
movie.
even if you had a 300 IQ, I don't think you could understand the movie Cody's talking about.
Oh, Ethan Hawke was in the Sinister movie. He was the main
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Sinister 1 or 2? Because I only saw 2.
One.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was in one too.
That's what I just said. One.
You said 2.
I've only seen 2.
What the fuck just happened?
Sam, I don't know. You said he was in 1 too. I was like, I've only seen 2. And your brain just died, I think.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, your brain said
That
RC.
smoke
still-
got
I'm
to
still
your-
thinking about-
that smoke got
I'm
to your
s-
brain cells.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about Splice.
Yeah. Yeah? Is it? No. I'm not
No,
gonna
it's
get into
not.
it.
It's not good. We should
But
watch
anyway.
it. Nathan.
No, I don't want to waste my time.
My
with
long
that.
tangent.
Of what? The movie that
I
makes
didn't mean
no
to go
sense
off,
to
but it's-
anybody, even if you were a Harvard professor.
Yeah,
I don't know why I
y'all-
got hiccups right now. I'm trying not to like vomit.
Y'all should watch it.
I'm not watching that. That sounds like a great just disappointment. I already got
Definitely
one
had
of those
some
in my
twists
life.
and turns.
Meat.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Noah.
Uncle
No.
Nathan?
Sam's trying to get an RC car that explodes into flames for his nephew.
You wanna taste the piss on the toasty?
Okay, bro.
Okay.
All right, listen. To
Bro, that
That's
coffee
Splice.
flavored piss is it?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something else today.
cream in your
Today we are going to see if Cody, Nathan, and Guns are smarter than a 5th grader.
Huh?
What about Sam?
Don't worry. I know I'm smarter than a 5th grader. All right,
Smarter than
y'all.
a 6th
I'll
grader?
see if you guys. I want to see if you guys are smarter than a 5th
This
grader.
isn't game time.
Nope.
But yeah, so speaking on like Netflix and Redbox and stuff like that, because I've been
Okay,
binging a lot of shows recently.
All right. So
Sam,
first,
I don't want to play this.
no,
game.
shut up, Nathan. You want to fucking have a podcast? We're gonna do fucking podcast shit. All right, you guys ready? Who invented the light bulb in 1879?
This is not something that 5th graders know.
Oh, was it
Yes, it is. I knew it in 5th grade.
It ain't Edison.
Oh,
No, I think it is. 'cause
Nathan-
the Edison
Nathan's
bulb.
not smarter than a 5th grader.
If it's Edison, it's not Edison. But if it is Edison, that's the answer. But it's not Edison.
I don't think
Oh,
it's-
that was 1st grade history.
I don't think it's the
Thomas
right
Edison.
answer.
All right, it is.
It's not the right answer because I think he, if I'm not wrong, he stole the credit.
Okay, here. This one you guys should know. The modern day
Oh, tell us
city
the
of
answer what that
Easton.
one was.
It was Thomas
That's not
Edison.
who invented it.
Okay, cool. Okay, now here's an actual fifth grade history question. The modern day city of Istanbul was known by what name in the 13th century?
Constantinople.
Turkey?
Nathan, right on the fucking nose.
Assassin's Creed history going off the bat.
Dude, I'm telling you. All right.
That's the
Who-
only reason he asked that.
Who is the creator of the classic book characters Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn?
Mark Twain.
Damn, Nathan. Come on, Cody. Pick it up.
Oh, I can tell you right now, Nathan is way smarter than I am.
No.
All right. What is the name of the most famous English playwright?
Who?
It's
What
over
is the name of the
Shakespeare.
most? Okay, Nathan. Jesus
This is
Christ.
fifth grade knowledge. It's not that like you said. It's not.
Okay. Here you go, Nathan. What is the name of the sea bordered by Europe to the north and North Africa to the south?
Talking about the Mediterranean. area.
Dude, how the fuck does he know that?
That's where the freaking.
No
Rome
way.
It's where Rome is. It's not that hard.
All right, Nathan.
I'm telling you.
The Earth is at least how many?
I wanna argue about
No.
binge watching Avatar. That's what I want to talk about because I got a little bone to
No.
pick.
This I'm having fun with this. The Earth is at least how many billions years old?
4.5.
Dude, oh my God.
Okay, let's talk about. I want to talk about Avatar real quick.
Oh, animals without backbones are known as what?
Invertebrates.
Okay, Nathan.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew that one.
Yeah.
How many sides does a hexagon have?
I know that from. Is that right answer?
Yes, it was.
That's from SpongeBob.
Yes, it was.
I remember that. I'm gonna argue invertebrates. I'm gonna teach you how to
I
do
love how he
the
just said
sponge.
SpongeBob.
You remember that episode? That's what I remembered it
This
from.
this is the only reason Nathan knows these is because of stuff
It's
he
the
watched.
stupid shows. Yeah, that's pretty much all it is.
SpongeBob was the actual fifth grader.
He was actually the king of it.
Okay, Nathan. Go ahead, proceed. I'll give you something in a little bit that you
Why
won't be
you
able to
just
figure out.
you're stowing these away like ammo, waiting to snipe me for a reason? Okay, I was just gonna say. So I've been binge watching shows a lot recently. I'm waiting for a lot of games to come out. We'll get in that in a second because I remember Cody, you said you want to talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get that in a second. But I've been binge watching all those shows, waiting for some games to come out. And I was binge watching Avatar: The Last Airbender because that's one of my childhood shows. I love that show, and I finished it. I have no complaints on it. I mean, it was pretty dang good, all the way around. And now I gotta watch Legend of Korra, which I haven't really watched it that much. Cody, you watched Legend of Korra, didn't you?
Nope.
You didn't watch it? I thought you watched Avatar all the way through, didn't you?
Yep.
All I know is I talked to Micah and he said it was pretty good, but I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. But I was gonna say was like, I don't understand how all of a sudden Netflix has a bunch of stuff. Like back in the day, we used to have to go to back in the day. I say that's like a year and a half ago, but we'd have to go to Hulu for most of our stuff. I'm gonna go on a rant and say that listen, I like having a lot of options, but having to serve 15 different like web streaming platforms for all my shows is pretty much as annoying as having to have 15 different game clients to run the games I want to play. If I want to play Battlefield, I gotta have Origin. If I want to play a game on Steam, like Left 4 Dead, I gotta play it on Steam. It's just really annoying. I know there's like, for example, for games, there's a program software out there. I think the people who make Witcher actually made it. I think it's like GOG or whatever. I don't know, but you can do all your stuff there, but you have to do a lot of like linking of all your stuff together, and you have an own friends list on GOG, so I don't think it shares your Steam list. I don't know. I have to download it. But
All right, Nathan.
basically, I wish there was something like that for your shows, because having to jump between Hulu, Netflix, and not only to mention My Hero Academia Season 4 dub, I have to go get a Funimation Now account for what, $13? Is that how much it costs?
Ouch.
Is that how much it costs, Cody?
I think
I'm
it's
asking you 'cause you have it.
$7.99.
$7.99? Regardless,
No,
I'm
I
already
don't
paying a lot. I already have a Crunchyroll account. I'm
Pay
gonna
for
keep that.
fun.
Nathan, I've been telling you the
Amazing
website.
loser.
Yeah.
Nathan?
Listen, we ain't gonna talk about that here.
He's been speaking Laganese since day one.
Shut
All
up,
right.
Sam.
Studying the ancient
All right, Nathan. Okay, all y'all. What has a face and two hands but has no arms or legs?
Go and heal the gas from your RC car.
Is this a smarter than a 5th grade question or a trick
No,
question?
this is a riddle. Cause you're smarter than a 5th grader, obviously.
Well, I can't do riddles.
Come on, think about it. What has a
Yes.
face and two hands but has no arms or legs?
Oh, clock.
Heck yeah, Cody. Heck
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
baby.
terrible at riddles. If
Okay.
you give me any riddle, I'm probably not gonna be able to solve it.
High school questions.
What do we? No.
No, because you're
No.
blowing my mind, Nathan. You're a lot smarter than I thought you were.
I'm not. Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah, I
thanks
coulda
for giving
told
me
you
credit,
that.
bruh.
I could have told you that.
Okay. You know what? I'll give you some. What are the in the Declaration of Independence? What are the 3 rights that every human is allowed, or that
Life,
every human?
liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I thought
No, yeah, because that was different.
I was thinking to something else.
Why? No, we're not giving me a test. I want to talk about rants. We got rants to.
I'm ranting the fact that you're smart.
No.
Yes. Are you smarter than
Can
ninth
we
grade?
rant about that later?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I got things I gotta talk about, bruh.
Okay, hold on, Nathan.
Oh my God, bruh.
Last one, Sam.
So
You
bruh's
can
gonna
do
be
this,
said
but
a
it's the
lot
last
in this
one.
podcast episode. I just want everyone to know that bruh's gonna be said a lot.
All right, Nathan. What year did Susan B. Anthony vote?
I don't know that answer.
All right, Nathan. Who was the first female Marine?
I do not know that answer. I don't know. That's something you would know.
Opha May Johnson, baby. Opha May
Her name
Johnson.
was Ofa? Was it back in
She was white.
Was it back in
Not
the 1700s?
like that matters. Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
We didn't care about dates.
Oh well. Whenever the Marines were first made, which is in the 1700s, I'm pretty sure.
1776.
Yep.
Well, actually, it's 1775.
Before the Declaration was signed, right?
Right. Because we were just sailors at the time.
Good old seaman.
Good old seaman. All right, you know what? Let's rant about something.
Well, I wanna ask Cody because he wanted to talk about games. Cody, what was your game topic you wanted to talk about amongst us all? I want to know.
Well, I just feel like, I feel like that's a whole episode topic about games that we've played growing up and like games that we're looking forward to now and why some games are boring. I don't want it to be like half an episode and then talk for like 30 minutes.
Well, we got 30 extra. I mean, we got 30 minutes, and that's not gonna take too long. We could do it.
Let's just rant about one game for 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be all of them.
Alright, I'm gonna have an unpopular opinion. I'm not a big fan of. Okay, Among Us is not a terrible looking game, but the fact
Okay,
that
I'm glad you brought
Okay,
this up.
Nathan, if
the
you
fact
haven't
that-
played it,
no,
shut your mouth.
I'm saying it's not. It doesn't look bad. I don't mind. Like the game looks fun, but just like anything else, when a bunch of people jump on it all at once, and that's all you see for the next 3 weeks, like that's all. It's in memes. It's on my recommended videos. Half the YouTubers I watch are only playing that, and that's all everyone ever talks about. That gets a little annoying, because I understand the game's cool, and like I said, I want to try it eventually, but I just don't understand. It's basically Trouble in Terrorist Town, but better. But it's just,
No.
I just want to talk about that. Like, for example, alright, I might get beaten for this, but I think the franchise itself, Five Nights at Freddy's, is cool. I think the concept's really cool, and the way it got started was really cool. But the fandom can make the game just absolutely unbearable to deal with, just like anything else. It's like Undertale. Undertale's an awesome game, but sometimes fandoms of games can ruin them.
All right, Nathan, you know what?
Being overly
Nathan,
annoying.
I would bean you, but you're right.
Let's talk about this.
Like I think those games are good. I'm not gonna say they're not. It's just like that's like me saying, okay, this game's popular. I'm gonna hate it because it's popular. That's not. No, I recognize that Among Us is good, but the overabundance of everything, just that constantly for 3 weeks, nah.
Okay, listen, here, I'm going to tell you this. Worst fucking game possible. No, not the worst fucking game. Worst type of game. Turnstile-based games.
Yeah.
I don't see what kind of monkey brain fucking developed that shit.
That's for people who like for example, I respect like chess. I think chess is cool, but I could never get into it.
Like, no. Like, I recently bought Wastelands 3, which was, the newer game that came out. And it was a turnstile-based game. It was phenomenal. I absolutely loved that game. But if I go and I play, like, Final Fantasy or Pokemon, bro, that shit's fucking stupid to me.
I will give
Like-
you that.
Like, I
here's
just,
the thing
I just don't see the fucking...
The thing about me is like, I don't. A lot of with games the games that I just can't play, like you said, turn-based style. I'm just not really someone who likes turn-based style. But a lot of it to me seems really interesting. Like I think Pokemon's world is really cool. I can't get into it for some reason. I've just
Like
never really been into it, but I think it's really cool.
so I'm about to say this, and it might blow your mind, it might not. I feel like the reason I hate it so much is because there's no room for improvement. Like, think about it. If you play Dark Souls 3, all right, cool. You're playing Dark Souls, this boss beats you. And then you rethink your strategy and you go back in with the same gear. You kill him. You just you feel good about
Oh,
yourself.
the fact that you
And
like
and the
thought about a
fact
different way of doing it.
yeah, and the fact that, turnstile based games are like they're like, you're not high enough level, you're going to get fucked. There's no way you're going to win cuz the statistics already built up to program
Well,
against you.
it's a numbers game. That's the thing. You have to, if your numbers don't exceed what you need to pass, then you're never gonna get past it. That's like
Exactly.
certain
But
RPGs you play where like for example, I like Fallout a lot because yes, having higher stats makes you like better, but the way you approach a situation can determine the difference in the outcome, not as much as the numbers. Having better armor and weapons is good for certain. Now, obviously, if because the way I think like from what my experience Fallout works, or just Bethesda games, is wherever you start at like the bottom of the map, the top of the map is where the highest like level and hardest enemies are. Like for example, if you're playing Fallout New Vegas, you start at Good Springs. If you go all the way top left of the map, you're just gonna get eaten alive by cazadors and get the sound that's like like that when you get hit by
like
them.
that's ours.
Yeah, so that's like you know where to avoid, but also it's not so dependent on the numbers because you can still stealth kill people and you can still do all that. That's what makes it good. But those RPGs, and like everyone has certain games they like to play. There's a niche for everybody. But I just do not understand the enjoyment of being like, oh, I physically cannot do damage to this person because I'm not a high enough level.
Yeah, I don't get it, man, cuz they're like, "Hey
Oh, you're on
guys,
the verge of crying. Okay?
this is a good game mechanic." No, I'm not okay cuz it's a stupid game mechanic. Like
I
seriously,
think
like you have to be the stupidest fucking person to like think of that.
I honestly think, like I
Like
said,
I
I
feel like
think the people who like turn-based stuff is gonna be people who like chess. And I don't dog on chess. Chess is cool, but I
I
just
like
can't get
chess.
into it.
Like I like chess because it actually like you have to think out your enemies like the opponent's plays.
Oh, so
Like
you're saying it's
you can at least think that in chess, but but when you play a turnstile based game, like dude,
well, that's just a problem with restrictions. Like that's just the fact that the game restricts
and
you.
there's that
Chess
impending
doesn't.
doom like oh man, if I don't get this, like I have to do this all over again and I'm probably not going to win that time because it's the same stats. I like
Oh,
I
Dokkan.
Super
I-
Battle Road.
sure
No,
even
but I mean, I don't know. Okay,
I get what you're talking about, Sam. You prefer chess because even if you have to start over because the person beats you, you can go in with different strategies instead of any
it's,
other
Yeah.
it's
person.
strategy
Meanwhile,
driven. It's not numbers driven. Like that's the
yeah,
difference. And I understand, like I said, people who have like niche on it. That's why when we used to play Magic the Gathering, yeah, I know nerd talk now, real nerd
that was
out.
a fun game.
Yeah, but the thing about Magic the Gathering is like, it was so weird because I enjoyed it a lot because it was different decks did different things. Like if you were gonna run white, or I forgot, I think it's plains or whatever. If you're gonna run that, you already knew you're gonna get people that have a lot of like flying cards and like healing stuff. That's what that element's about. And you can mix that with different colors, or just have a solo deck with all that, and still like you can mix and match. But there's also comes a thing where like if a person just has a stacked understanding of the game, you have no chance in like fighting against that player. Like I think those type of games are at their best when both players are intermediate players, if that makes sense. Like they're not super beginner, they're not super pro, they're both intermediate. That I think in general in gaming, that is the best matches. Is intermediate matches. Now I know everyone right now is like freaking out about pro play and stuff, and it is really cool to watch pro players play. But I'm not even gonna say that I don't like competitive stuff because I don't go into competitive matches a lot, but I am a competitive game like person who plays games, a gamer or whatever. Not to fight the meme or anything, but I am kind of a competitive gamer. But I'm not someone who's gonna go like every match has to be a sweat show. That's why I have such a problem with freaking the skill-based matchmaking in games, because not every casual match I go into I want to sweat my armpits off.
Nah, dude, like even with turnstile based games, competitive is still really not a thing.
Well, no, because like you said, it has to be a numbers thing. Like you have to just have the right mathematics. and it's not even in a strategy base. It's in a gear slot base. That's like a game that favors certain armors if you can't do anything against certain armor.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about strategy because you have no chance in general. That's the biggest. I understand that front. That's like games I'll never play, but I love to watch are the games like Telltale games, if you know what I'm talking about. Stuff like Wolf Among Us, which I'm waiting for the second one. That's supposed to come out with a season 2. That's gonna be freaking sweet. If you've never seen Wolf Among Us by Telltale Games, go watch a series out of it because that is an awesome game. But they made The Walking Dead too, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, no, I won't play those games, but I love watching. There's a lot of games that I won't play, but I love watching other people play.
Here's what I think, my friends.
Are we getting punctual now?
The games I really, really freaking enjoy, and a lot of games aren't about this nowadays, is adventure. Like Nintendo
Like
60.
Legend of Zelda?
I grew up on Nintendo 64. You know, I played Banjo Kazooie. I played, Zelda Ocarina of Time, Zelda's Majora's Mask. No, I played all those games. Nowadays, there's really not any adventure.
I think the reason that is because a lot of games now have stripped away player agency when it comes to like single player games. Like,
And and like
okay,
I
Dang, had
think
to pull the Raven on him.
yeah, really, just put
Nevermore.
and I think like the most recent game that has like a really good adventure, quote unquote, is probably Breath of the Wild. And the second one's coming out, and I'm super excited about it.
I thought it was a DLC thing.
What do you mean?
I thought it was a DLC
Bruh.
to it. I want to
There
play that game. I
was.
want to play that game so bad. I want a
There,
Nintendo
there,
Switch.
I mean, there was, but there's a second one coming out.
When did it get announced? This year?
I think it's 2021.
Oh.
I thought it was 2019.
Like,
I got announced.
I don't know. I've just noticed a lot of games nowadays don't have player agency. Like, even in multiplayer, there's
Yeah.
not as much freedom as there used to be. Like the developers funneling you into a certain play style at all times, and you have to play that play style. It's like, yeah, sure, I can pick this weapon, but I know it's not better than this gun. So what's the point? Like, it's
Well,
something I'm gonna bring up is I don't mind the new Modern Warfare. I think it's a pretty good game compared to the other CODs that's come out recently. I think it's pretty good. The only problem is that really you got to play a certain play style meta or you're screwed, and that's happened a lot in the game.
Like
Whereas-
right now, I think the meta is like snipers in that game right now.
It changes every season because they do all these patches and stuff, but it's always funneled. Whereas, for example, Modern Warfare 2, everything was overpowered. There were certain things like, yes, you could use noob tubes, but thank God the entire community rallied around it and say that is shameful, and if you do it, everyone in the lobby is going to shame you for it. And it was true. Everyone flamed everyone who used noob tubes to get like nukes and stuff. But
Well,
every weapon was so overpowered, it didn't matter what you used. You could basically choose anything and run it and still do a pretty good. Of course, now, like I said, every other game is multiplayer. They're funneling you into a certain play style, and you have to play skill-based matchmaking on everything. So everything's a comp map, pretty much. Every match is a competitive match with a certain play style. It's just not fun to me.
Listen. Oh, go ahead, Cody.
most, like, the Zelda games and all that, most of them are single player. Like, there's not very many good adventure games that are, co-op, multiplayer, whatever. And like, you take a look at all these. I remember when, and I will still stand. Everyone's heard me say it so many times, but I will still stand that probably one of the most games in recent history that was not only able to keep my attention, but that I really, really, really enjoyed the story was God of War.
Yeah.
And I remember when they were talking about that game, a lot of like companies made fun of Sony and that studio specifically for making a single player game because they were like, oh, it's single players dying, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
That
And
doesn't help.
It lives with good example because look at all these games nowadays. Like if I and nothing against people who play Fortnite, Among Us, but you see these games that are blowing up that literally just have like one simple thing to do, like Fortnite, pew pew, shoot people, victory royale, let's funk dance on their corpse.
And then you have Among Us where it's like, oh, imposter, let's vote the fucking dude that didn't even do anything. Oh, we killed him. Shit.
Goodbye,
Like,
Ariel. Vote
like
off that. Oh my
it's
god.
it's sad, and I mean that's what happens. And I think part of why games are so stale nowadays is just like us growing up, and we see like the flaws in a lot of the games now. Because when you're kids, you're just like, oh, this is fun, cool, shoot me. Like
See, that's the
you
thing.
don't
Is
really
like
pay.
I would say that, but going back and playing like a bunch of old games, there's still a lot of like what I. All right, this is a great example of what I'm gonna bring up. It's actually coming to PC Tuesday of this week. It'll be September 22nd. But it's Halo 3 ODST, and I always talk about that game. But the reason I talk about that game so much is because if you've never played that game has more personality than most people I've met. And what I further mean on that, because I sound like I'm crazy right now, that game has more vision, imagination, and drive behind it as an identity than most games that come out ever. And I think that's the biggest thing. Is like most games, you had a long time between like it was like 2016 and 18 where a lot of games were just copy paste of each other. And if you go back and look at it, you're like, yeah, that really makes sense because there really was like a stamp on like version of each game. And there was a few that stood out. Like you said, God of War was something that came out that was very unique to itself. I know God, what am I trying to say? Horizon, that game. Horizon Zero. Wait, let me think. Well, it's the one with the robots.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, Zero Dawn. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was getting it right. Horizon Zero Dawn. That game was really cool. But there's a few in the mix. But a lot of times that trend is just like that, pretty much. But looking back on that game, Halo 3, like ODST, that game, just everything about it, from the music, the characters, the story, everything was its own identity, and it didn't have to have like the best marketing strategy on the planet. It didn't have to have all these microtransactions. It was what it was. It did what it set out to do, and to this day, maybe doesn't make near as much money as some of the games today, like Fortnite, but people still play and remember that game 11 years later and adore it because of it. And they remember it's always going to be remembered because of that. Or games that have character are going to do that. I think that's also a lack of, not even just talking about adventure games, but a lot of games just don't have their own identities anymore. It's just like they do it basically, again, like you were saying, Cody, about God of War. All the top developers were like, well, single player games are dying, so it doesn't even matter, which is a stupid statement because immediately God of War was one of the best selling games ever, and people enjoy single player games all the time. But if a game's not making a buku's amount of money or is not quote unquote marketable in the eyes of the people who are publishing them, then they're not going to do well anyways.
Well, and I'm really
Or they're
glad
not
that
going to be seen in a positive light when really the best games, like I said, are those that have character.
I'm really glad that because God of War won Game of the Year for its year. I think it was like 2018, and then of course last year Sekiro won. Um, and I'm really glad that it was. See, and this is what I don't understand. Like, I love playing multiplayer games, but at the end of the day, playing something single player, or even, well, Sekiro, you couldn't really summon people in like Dark Souls, but um, those just seem to be the games that stick around and like are, I don't know.
Because
It just
they're art forms that have their own identity. That's what I'm talking about. Like they're easily recognizable, and they were art. They are art pieces of media.
but yeah, no, we get Among Us and Fortnite being one of the games. Like I guarantee you, not just based on like gameplay, but just of how popular and worldwide it became. Fortnite will probably end up being like the game of the fucking millennia.
I don't know. Not many people talk about Fortnite much anymore.
Yeah, I was about to say that thing died off.
No, I'm not saying like by gameplay. I just said popularity. Like everyone knows Fortnite. Everyone, even like people 3 generations above us, know Fortnite.
People that aren't even born yet will probably know about it.
They will know of Fortnite as it is written. Yeah, I mean, but then again, if the game doesn't, I mean, I'm not gonna say Fortnite doesn't have an identity because it kind of does. That game is kind of its own entity in the fact that it's a multiplayer game that's super marketable and had its own identity. Whether you like it or not, it did. So it probably will stick around for a while. Whereas a lot of these other cookie cutter games are not gonna make it. And I'm not talking about Among Us when I say that because, like I said, Among Us is actually pretty cool. And the person who made it, like, good on them. because it was an indie game developed by them or a small studio, and they made a lot of money off it because streamers specifically, made it popular. I have two gaming controversies I want to talk about. Which one do you want first? You want the Last of Us 1 versus 2 controversy, or do you want the streamers affecting games controversy?
Let's talk about 1 versus 2.
Okay. Again, I don't really care if I get flamed for this. I don't even think the fact that what they did in 2, Last of Us Part 2, was the reason that game, like, to me, was not as good. I think just the amount of, like, messages they tried to push in The Last of Us 2 absolutely ruined the game. To the point where it drove the story into a terrible direction and just bombshelled the entire experience completely. I was even having this conversation with someone in our Discord, but, like, the fact, like, it's not that they killed, or for example, spoilers, if you haven't seen Last of Us Part 2, I'm about to spoil something, so make sure you mute the audio or whatever for, like, the next 2 minutes. But, well, no, if we're going to talk about it. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. The fact that they killed Joel, not even the problem for me. It's kind of the way they did it, but all the messages they tried to push into the game afterwards, because Last of Us 1 was simply a game about survival, about human beings, and about people, how they would carry out a situation like that. And it was just two people, you know, in that situation trying to survive, being together. They had a goal at the end of the road, but it was that entire journey of it. And that's why it was so special, because it gave so much creative freedom and it wasn't held down by all this drive. Whereas Part 2, like, not only did it have to follow up Last of Us 1, which was already a hard enough task, so I'll give them that. But like I said, the entirety, like, the game looked great, the gameplay looked cool, but all the messages that they tried to put in the game just completely twisted the entire story experience around that. And I think that's what ultimately just brought it down. That's my country. I don't like Last of Us Part 2 because of that reason. Like I said, not even about they killed Joel or whatever, but yeah. And I think it's what's going to bring down future games in general if they try to push messages into games, because yes, it's their own art form, but if you drive your entire art form that a lot of different people are going to experience behind a simple, like, behind a very foreboding message, it's just not going to work well.
Well, and I mean, it's kind of like when we've talked to it when the game first came out. So many people use, and as cringy as it sounds, like I remember seeing that meme where it's like, my mom tells me to get a life, but joke's on her, I have many lives, and it shows like fucking Kratos and the dude from Skyrim and like Splinter Cell. But as cringy as it is, like, it's true. Like, gaming is one of those things that, whether connecting with people, that's how a lot of people connect nowadays. Um, and also how they escape reality. And when I know me personally, when I play a game, I don't really, I don't know, I don't want to see real world problems in my game.
You want it to stay.
Yeah.
You want it to stay fiction, pretty much.
Yeah, and I mean that's, you play a zombie game, like basically what Last of Us is, or Walking Dead or whatever. Well, imagine you're playing Walking Dead, like they're like, oh, here's episode 3, the final episode. What's gonna happen to Clementine? And then Clementine, all throughout the game, she goes, I just don't know who to vote for. And then at the end of the game, you have to decide whether to shoot fucking Lee in the face and kill him, or they're like, you could do that, or vote for Vermin Supreme, which is a worse decision, and Clementine will die. It's like, I don't.
Well, it's like gaming. Gaming is an escape from, like you said, the real world problems. They're escape from reality, and you play them to ease your mind. So it's not the fact that, hey, I don't want realistic problems in my games, like zombies are, like, obviously zombies aren't real, but I'm saying, like, people having to survive and kill each other. Obviously, I'm not saying I don't want that in my game, but escaping the fact that there's boring, monotonous, just stupid stuff we have to deal with all the time, every single day. We want to escape from that in our games, and then always shoving that into our games as a, like, it just does not work. It never works.
And when I say escape reality, but I know, like, basically, I feel like some people again, maybe not everyone. A lot of people just play games, just for fun. But some people can play games, because you're in control in a game. Essentially, you can do whatever you want. And if you don't have control, in your personal life, then gaming can be one of those things where you're like, okay, I can actually control what my character does, control what they do. But if you have some like predetermined path already set in the game, that's like, oh, you're guess what? You the main character's gonna die and you can't do anything about it. Like,
Well, see, that's why I think it's so
I don't know
hard.
where I'm going, but I just
that's why it's so hard to deal with like story-driven games in general. I think it's because obviously there's already predestined path with it, but the amount of player agency and again the amount of vagueness in the game. What am I trying to say? The less amount of real-world messages put into a game to tailor the experience, the better. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
yeah, that's I didn't mean predestined because I mean every game has to have. I mean, you can't just.
But just saying, the more real-world problems that are in a game, the less appealing it's going to be because people want to escape reality. That's what games are there for, and I agree. Like it's not bad to be in your game. Like it's not bad, for example, to make your game about like let's say you're on a different planet, and it's like it's in the future where human beings have colonized a bunch of worlds. Where one of the worlds, there's a world where this guy is trying to overthrow something, or he's like enslaving a bunch of people, and then so your game's message end of it is like, oh yeah, slavery's bad. That's not terrible if the entire story is like you as one of the people trying to like free this planet from a tyrant. That's not bad. But when your entire story revolves around a certain like few points the entire time, and that tailors the entire story around it instead of it being vague enough for everybody to enjoy, that's when it sucks. Because obviously everyone knows slavery is bad. But if that's all the game tells you all the time is, hey, slavery's bad. Did you know slavery's bad? Yeah, slavery's bad the entire time. It's not an escape from reality because we have to deal with those problems all the time. So it's just not going to be fun. It's just like going on the news and looking on the news, pretty much.
There's a way to. And it's like I was watching this one YouTuber and he was talking about like movies and maybe not books, but things that represent, certain topics, like bad topics, good topics, whatever. There's a way to tastefully do everything besides just here's all this problem all at once. Here's what America's like right now. It's really fucked. Like that. He's like, there's a way to tastefully show it besides just like shove it in the player's face and trying to make them realize.
It's the exact same thing as, all right, you have a villain character. How is this person a villain? It'd be the same thing as you going, all right, this person's bad, and instead of saying, like, the difference is this person's bad. Why is the person bad? Oh yeah, because one time they destroyed this town. Well, is that all you're going to say? Yeah, they destroyed this town and killed people. Well, I didn't see anything about it. Well, yeah, but they're bad. Trust me, that's what they did. Versus you showing a cutscene of them killing people and taking over a town. And then, like, doing bad. That's the difference. And the fact that you do it tastefully, where it plays out naturally in the story, or you simply just go, this person's bad because of this, and that's it.
Well, that's like, this year, talking about tastefully, I think, of course, I think it was 2019 when it came out, but like Endgame and Joker, like those two movies, I have never been. Well, it didn't necessarily happen in the theater, but I have never seen more people like sit down and think about Thanos, which is the villain in that in Endgame, and then the Joker from obviously the Joker movie. Like, I've never seen more people sit down and be like, you know what? Thanos has a really good point. Like, as a villain, because like what you're saying, just to be bad. And the same thing with Joker. Like, I shit you not. Like, there was all this bad publicity floating around Joker, and like about a lot of stuff happening because of the movie. And I shit you not, I watched the movie whole way through in the theater, and by the end of the movie, I was like, dude, I feel so bad for the Joker, even though he did everything. If y'all have seen that movie, even though he did all this bad shit, like towards the end of the movie, I just felt so bad. Like it's like they just took my humanity and my empathy, and they were just like, dude, he's the bad guy, but we want you to feel sorry for him.
That's what makes such a good villain. You make someone who's relatable and people can understand. And when you make a villain, like for example Thanos, where people will be like, you know what, they got something going on. Not everybody's gonna pull that off, but if you can pull that off, that is amazing. Like that's when you know you got something good. When someone can say, you know what, I can relate to this.
Oh yeah,
That's what chased it though. And that's
he's
not
a
even.
bad
Go ahead.
he's a bad guy. Why? Oh, cause yeah, he crossed me on a double yellow.
Bruh. He passed me on a double yellow.
Real world problems.
I was about to say, time to bring the Avengers to him. And I have that other controversy, which literally is just going to be me saying, okay, streamers are cool and all, but there's some times where streamers literally affect the gaming like sphere and also the gaming like developer decisions. And like I was going to say, Among Us got so popular because of Twitch and streamers, which is awesome. That's really cool. It's the same reason another game we play, Escape from Tarkov, got so popular because of streamers. But when they have so much influence, the way they start gearing the game only towards those people, and it sounds like I'm just being butthurt right now, but I'm not even kidding. That's what they're doing. Because those are like, for example, think about it. The only people they usually get to test their games, especially nowadays, and I think the Call of Duty, was it the Alpha that did this, or was the Alpha Open? Do you know, Cody?
I mean, alright, I played it.
You played it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got to play it.
There's some alphas in games where a lot of the new stuff, like I think Halo 5 did this when it first came out. The only people who were able to test the multiplayer were pro players and streamers. That's it.
I mean, that's how
But I'm saying like
Overwatch.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's how they tailor games because it's just top league play. But the reason that doesn't work is because the majority of people playing are not the top 10%. So it never works out.
I mean, I think for the alpha, I think it was only on PlayStation, if I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, it was
because
yeah.
they were like
had
the
that
contract that they
Yeah, they got that deal going on. But no, like I don't know. I was just talking about Black Ops as an example, but I know, yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure the Alpha wasn't just tailored to them. But I know for a fact, like
Yeah.
Halo 5 was when it was first developed. The multiplayer was basically geared around pro players, and they usually do that because that's like the people they want to test, the people who are the most dedicated and know the most. But at the same time, that does not make the experience better for everybody else because not everyone, the majority, if not 80% to like 90%, do not play like the pro players do. That's just not how matches go. I was talking about it earlier about like skill-based matchmaking and stuff, but I guarantee that's not how most people play. It's like I was talking about Escape from Tarkov or whatever. Like majority of people who play that game are not as good as the like streamers, where they're getting like 5 kills and surviving a match. Most people are just dying from like nuclear explosions out of people's rifles. So
Yeah.
that's a big problem with a lot of games, not just those few examples, but that's something that grinds my gears.
I mean,
I can see through my
for-
super preaching.
for like
What, Sam?
testing. What?
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
Then you go snipe
For
around.
testing,
Oh wait, that happens.
like
too.
games, testing games. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but if I'm not wrong, for Valorant, didn't like streamers get like keys that would go out in a chat, and then if a like random person was in the chat, they use the key, they get the game.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, they did a deal promotion
Well,
thing with that.
I think that was a good and bad idea. I think the only bad part is that it's a streamer. Why can't it be like a public announcement or something from
Why can't
them?
it be
But like,
a public stream from the company itself?
yeah, like why don't like they start a stream?
I mean,
They
obviously,
give out
it's for
like,
business reasons, right? Because obviously the streamer probably has a contract with Valorant, and that's why they're doing it.
well,
But it
yeah,
doesn't help
but
everybody, because not everyone's gonna watch that guy. Even if they try to market him as much as they will, it's like not everyone watched Ninja, even though Ninja was the biggest streamer for a long time, and probably still is.
that's what I'm saying. If they want to like test games, why not? I don't care. You can go ahead and give the streamers like the copies, but for a public announcement, give out like 500 keys in a span of time,
Bro, not even.
and that will
okay.
be the only ones that they get.
I'm not a game developer. I'm not smart like that. But I will say this. They've done it before in the past. You can't tell me technology hasn't gotten better and these companies haven't grown. Why don't they just do what they did before and just have open betas? Just have an
Well, they-
open beta like week or month for everybody to give their feedback towards, and that probably is the best for everybody.
Well, this isn't for every game, but as far as Call of Duty Cold War, we are getting an open beta like later this month.
And see, that's good. The only problem I have is that the beta is like a month before the game comes out,
Nathan,
which doesn't help because not enough dev time.
Nathan, we're running over time.
Well, I started it early, I think. Or do you have a timer?
Yeah, it's 9:42 now. We started at 9:30 or 8:30.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. We are running a little bit over time, but yeah. So that's basically what I'm saying. Is like, I don't. That's another game rant. Basically, this entire podcast has just been rants from like talking about Sam's thing exploding to games. But that's probably what's going to title this thing. Rants. At this point, it's not even in anything. It's just a rant.
Rants and random stuff.
Rants and fart sprays.
Rants and aspray. But no, like, yeah, that's my closing statement. It's the fact that like I don't understand why. And I'm not a game developer, but the technology was there 10 years ago. Why can't they do it now?
Not a rapper, so stop rapping.
Wrap it. But yeah, I guess we might as well just go ahead and wrap this thing up then.
I can see you do that.
No pun intended.
I see anything through a supersonic screech.
Oh, you're talking about the okay, yeah, about the Avatar thing. Did you see the video? Did you see
Yeah, I
the
just
yeah.
watched it.
Alright, let's not let this happen
Alright,
like it did last time.
Dude,
Let's
okay,
close it out.
Closing video. Y'all need to go watch. Just look up the scene. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Avatar play Toph scene. If you don't know any of the characters in that, you'll see it. But it's basically one of the like main characters is a like little girl who can earthbend, and she gets replaced by a big muscly dude. And the way they just do that scene is so great because she's blind. She
What?
sees with her feet through earthbending.
What'd you look at like that for?
But the way the play plays out is they have all this misinformation. So when they ask her like
Look.
or ask the character how they can see, all he says is like, "Yeah, I can do it by screaming."
Oh,
and
I
the scream
messed
is
it
so
up.
perfect.
Okay.
It is great.
Hey, I want to return order in exchange.
I know what scene you're talking
You know,
about.
yeah, it is. It is just I can't recreate it because it will blow out everyone's microphone.
Alright,
eardrums.
let's close it up.
Dang,
'Cause
like an open book.
Okay.
you remember what happened last time, so we need to.
There, I got a pretty good look at you.
Got a pretty good look at you. We're going for a ride, what's that? Oh my
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching and listening to yet another episode of the Social Time Podcast. We appreciate everyone coming, and thank you, Sam, for including the audio.
Audio demonstration, thank you.
We really appreciate everyone watching, subscribing, liking, smashing the bell. And no, we appreciate everyone listening, to everyone that does. Yeah, thank you for watching.
Yes,
And-
sir. And whether you're watching
ahead, go
from
ahead.
home, work, or wherever it may be, thank you for spending your time with us socially. And for that, I guess we're gonna go ahead and head off. So take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye.